We're doing another bike switcheroo again. He's gonna ride my 300, I'm gonna ride his GSX-R 1000 with the improved suspension tweaking. So it'll complete turns better. He'll get to try out the revised sprockets 1543 new chain with the preload adjusters. All right, this will be a quickie. All right, dude, I'll see you in a bit. Or we'll be out there together. Yeah, it's weird being on a GSX-R again. Okay, there's no mirrors on this bike. We're on SuperbikeShaun's GSX-R 1000, heavily modified. I'm not going to bore you with all the specifics here because I've already ridden this bike and I've already explained a lot of the mods. I don't really like riding without mirrors, but I think he was planning on tracking this, so he was all ready to go. I got to get used to this new power band here. The brakes are so good, I gotta get used to them again.
Oh yeah, dude. Honestly, best brakes I've ever had.
Yeah. This bike is so fast. So these brakes are really good, I gotta get used to them. I'm still riding it like a 300. I really gotta look over my shoulder to pass. Once I'm in the canyons, that won't be a big deal. Turning is a lot better. Yeah, I like to have mirrors. Where are you going, Jetta? I mean, Golf? Ooh, little firmer suspension. Definitely a grippable tank like my old GSX-R 750. Bumpy. The thing about riding a new bike is make sure you give yourself time to get acclimated. Look it up. Acclimated. So be very easy on that throttle. You never want to drop someone else's bike or crash it. So easy on the throttle, easy on the brakes, because the brakes are probably going to be way better than you used to, and if they're not, sneak up on it. You know, learn those brakes. They might be way worse if you're going from a GSX-R to a Ninja 300. The brakes are going to be a lot worse. So you just want to get used to that. But the mistake you don't want to make is squeezing a GSX-R 1000 brake like you would a Ninja 300. Or cracking open the throttle. It's very tempting because your muscle memory is very strong. No wave. No gear. Let's see how it turns. See, I gotta get used to the turning before I know what it's gonna do. It's much better. Yeah, much better. I don't have to work so hard to turn the thing. can't outturn Shaun. He's just a way better rider. But I have power. About a lot of good that'll do me. Okay, don't turn left. Thank you. Suspension is a little tough, a little firm for this road. Does not make up for skill, my friends. Smooth fuel delivery. It starts to turn okay, but it still seems to not finish as well as I'd like. Maybe it's just part of having a bigger bike. Thing about a leader bike is you can put it in second gear and that's all you need. You don't really need to shift. Some people like that, some people don't. Something about this bike makes my left wrist kind of sore. I don't know what it is. I think it's the amount of pressure I have to use to keep it turned. I like this bike, but I like my Ninja better. It's weird. My little bike. This bike is brute force, and I'm sure Shaun loves it. It's just, I don't know, something about the little bike that I really like. I love the brakes though. Part of it is I'm not used to it, and I'm getting used to it now as I ride it. It does turn much better than it did. I like the wider tank, how I can grip it a little better. With this bike, you probably got to lean off or like hang off to make it turn better, and because Shaun hangs off really nicely, and that's probably what I'm not doing correctly for the way this bike is set up. Braking is great. I tend to go the same speed no matter what bike I'm on, so there's like no point in me having a big bike sometimes. Except on the freeway, where you can really put the power to use. This thing's like riding a wild stallion. Instead of a pot-bellied mare. Shaun's so fast that like if he rides at a normal pace, you know, it's basically like we're riding by ourselves. I gas it, I quickly exceed my skill limit. Some of it is just not being totally comfortable with the handling just yet, and not wanting to go maxed out yet. That's freaky. There's SuperbikeShaun and the Ninja 300. God, I love that sound. Nothing sounds like an inline 4.
How do you like her?
It's way better. It's still a beast. Too much bike for me. But awesome for you. I can tell you have it dialed in. It turns in really nice. Holding it takes a little pressure, but since you hang off properly, you know you're probably getting really good use out of it. Like for me, my style, because I don't really go that fast, I don't really hang off, so I need more pressure. But it's great, man. Way better than the first time. How do you like the Ninja 300?
Oh, I love it.
Much better now than last time?
Honestly, it's night and day.
Yeah, that sprocket is huge. I'll get over here. Oh yeah, I just want to hear your quick reviews. I'll shut up for a sec. What do you think of the Ninja 300, Shaun?
It's honestly, since the last time I rode it, it's way better. The gearing is on spot. Prior to this riding, the last time I rode it actually, I'd have to do a lot of work in order to keep the bike, you know, in the right RPM range to have some pull, because it was so, the gearing was so tall on it.
Right.
Now it actually pulls through the corners. I was ripping through some of them.
Yeah, that 1543 is awesome, man. I'll see the footage later too.
Oh, dude, I had a lot of fun on it.
Cool.
I found out that it tops out at an indicated 103.
Thank you. Thank you.
It'll sit there and do 103, 102, 103, 102.
I can't keep up with you on any bike, but you know, I was talking in the vlog there, you cannot ever replace skill with power. Always skill first.
Honestly, there's too many guys who want to go bigger, better, faster, and they just don't need it.
You don't need it. I was seeing, like, on any bike, I'm kind of going the same speed because I reached my skill limit. And then it's just, you know, I just can't go any faster, or won't go any faster. But this thing, because it's so quick, it's very easy to get way past your skill threshold for a given corner. So you need gobs of discipline. You know, where you don't have skill, you need more discipline. And sometimes that's not as fun. It's more fun to have a little less discipline on a small bike, get good on that, and then worry about upgrading.
Honestly, I can 99% of riders are going to be faster in the canyons on this because this is so easy to ride. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
You can get away with a lot. You know, on this, if you give it too much throttle mid-corner, it'll spit you up. On this, you know, you can whack it and just laugh your ass off the entire way.
Like you said, this will mess up your corner entry for the next one. And then you don't really gain from that throttle, you know. When you get to the straight, of course, any monkey can roll on a throttle on the straight. But honestly, I have more fun on this. Now, part of it is because I know the bike so well, and this, once I got used to it, I'd probably like it, like it a lot more. But this is like riding a wild stallion, and that's like a somewhat pregnant mare, maybe a month pregnant.
Well, I was gonna say this is actually more agile. Obviously,
it is.
Rear tire. This one,
yeah,
you know, it takes some muscle.
That's true. Yeah.
With the 140 rear tire, this thing just flicks all over the place.
I know, isn't that great? Shaun used to sell Kawasaki's, and so Shaun has a very intimate knowledge of the stock Kawasaki, bikes in general, having sold them, and of course being a rider and racer. And so this compared to stock, what do you think? Is it worth doing all the upgrades if you're going to stick with it?
I'd say if you're just going to commute, not really, but if you're going to do any kind of canyon runs, this is 10 times more fun than the stock. I mean, the gearing is on point. The extra power is definitely noticeable. The quick shifter is a godsend.
Oh, I'm so glad you used it. Yeah, isn't it great?
Because, you know, because you're swapping through gears so much.
Yeah.
It's just so much easier to just clutchless shift it. The clip-ons are phenomenal. It's a great bike, man. I really love what you did to it.
Cool,
and
man. Cool.
If there's anybody out there that wants to track their 300, this would pretty much be the exact thing I'd go for.
And SuperbikeShaun approved. I
highly recommend this bike. It's
okay.
More fun than you can probably imagine.
Awesome. Well, cool, man. You know, it'll be finally you get to ride your bike because it sounds like you've been really busy.
Yeah, I literally haven't had a real day off to ride in.
Wow.
I don't even know how long. Had to skip my day at the track, so.
That sucks. And you already had it ready, and the exhaust sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
This bike sounds so good, and the fueling on this bike is better than any jigs I've ever ridden, and I've owned two.
Oh yeah, what I did is basically, I can show you the system I have, but
yeah.
So I had it dyno tuned.
Yeah.
That was the first thing. Anytime you change your exhaust, anything to do with your fuel air mixture ratio, especially if you do a full exhaust,
right?
You have to have it dyno tuned, or else your bike is just going to be, it's going to be horrible.
Okay.
So I've got the Bazzaz ZFI here, so I had that dyno tuned. But with dyno tune, what it doesn't take in is the ram air. So the faster you go, the more air you have. So, you know, you have to add more fuel or you're going to be running too lean. So I have the auto fueler, which is actually, there's a bung attached directly into the bottom of the exhaust.
Uh-huh.
You probably won't be able to see it.
Which is nice and clean, by the way.
Down here.
Yeah.
And it actually reads the air fuel mixture in real time and then compensates for ram air.
Look at that. Well, it's got perfect fueling. Because you know how Gixxers by nature tend to be a little abrupt.
Oh yeah.
And this thing is awesome. And the brake, of course, the Brembo Master Cylinder is genius.
Yeah, Brembo Master Cylinder, these are actually Frentubo carbon fiber brake lines, front and rear.
Right.
So, I mean, there's no brake fade, it bites hard. I've actually got it on the gentlest setting right now. There's two settings on it.
Oh, nice.
It's on the gentle setting right now. If I put it to the hard biting one, it would be kind of absurd.
Right. Yeah, it's great, man. I like the black and black, and I think the Gixxer looks really good in black as well.
I think everything looks good in black or white.
Yeah.
None of the fancy, unless you're getting like a Cowie and you want to go Cowie green.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I like solid colors, and you know, there's a rental place that rents exotic cars. It's called Black and White. Why? Because the owner thinks they all look good in black and white, and I tend to agree. Because it shows off the lines really well. Well, the white does, and the black always looks good just because it's black.
I freaking love this thing.
Any last words on the Ninja?
Honestly, you'll see obviously you guys will watch the video, you'll see like when I came to pass you at like 90 miles an hour and just, it's a great feeling, man.
Good trackability. I know you love the tires. The Q3s on this, those are Q3s, right?
Yep, Q3s.
Those felt awesome.
I will say, if you haven't ridden the Q3s yet, and you're used to the Q2s, it's a completely different tire.
Okay.
The Q2s were a little bit sluggish in transition. These are extremely quick, and when they actually get down, you have to use throttle to get the thing back up. Once you're at full lean, they sit there. I have it recorded. I don't have the thing on it right now, but I actually recorded a 60.4 degree lean angle on these tires.
Holy crap. I don't know what I'm hitting, but I'm probably in the 20s. But you know, I love this little bike, and you know, part of me doesn't ever want to sell it, and part of me still yearns for that 636, which I think is a good power, you know, sort of cost benefit for me.
I will tell you right now, that 636 is one of the most fun bikes I've ever ridden.
It's amazing, and I really didn't even ride it in anger. Not the most comfortable bike, but just, you know, it's great fueling, great brakes, great looks.
The
it's got
clutch
a good
on that
enough
is
engine.
phenomenal. The transmission is it's one of the most seamless stock transmissions you'll ever have.
Yeah, that's high praise right there, my friends. Well, cool. And then I put the bigger ZX-R sticker on there. I don't know if I told you, I went to the Kawasaki and coffee thing last Saturday. And I got to talk to their R&D department. So I was able to give them some ideas about a bigger seat cowl and like getting rid of this, getting rid of the fake intakes, and the biggest thing was I asked them to add an adjuster to the clutch because their friction zone stock is so far out that if you have small hands, especially in a glove, you kind of run out of finger, which I've complained about a lot. So I think an adjuster on a stock lever would be good. Otherwise, love their bikes.
Yeah.
And the
they really
freaking
nailed
ball
it with
bearings.
this bike.
Hmm?
They really nailed it with this bike.
They did, and it's so funny. What a ballsy move to come in with a 300 on top of 250 class, you know?
Well, they basically said because Honda wanted to get there. Basically, they owned the 250 market. The Ninja 250 was the only 250 out there. Honda tried to take a chunk out of that, so they brought in theirs, which was fuel injected, you know, no more carburetor, you know, really easy to use. So Kawasaki's like, F you. We're going to come out with a fuel-injected bike with 50 more cc, and we're going to destroy you. Yeah,
we have fuel injection too, and 50 more cc's. And it looks like a ZX-10 mated with a ZX-R Rogue. Do these feel any better to you? The SSRs or
it's
the
kind of hard because I didn't make a back-to-back comparison. They do feel phenomenal. You can really tell what the front end is doing.
Okay, cool. That's good. And I know you're used to your better suspension anyway, but on this bike it's pretty cool. And then, yeah, it's really good to hear what you think of this sprocket change because it was a little tall before.
Yeah,
and now
I was
actually
struggling to find the right gear. This one, it was just...
It was
kind of
doggish.
had it in third, occasionally would drop to second, and occasionally go up to fourth or fifth.
Okay. Yeah, because I noticed a big difference on the freeway, and even in the canyons. It actually was so good that I could get on the throttle and actually get myself in trouble. Like, I couldn't do that before easily, because it's so, you know, it's so gradual. All right, Shaun. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you for the interview, man. Oh, let's pimp your channel, SuperbikeShaun.
Yes, my channel on YouTube, SuperbikeShaun.
Okay.
I will ask anybody who watches this, I'm a disabled veteran, and I work with some disabled veterans. There's a group called the Independence Fund.
Okay.
I think the website is independencefund.org. If you can, just go donate anything you can there. 50 cents makes a difference. It goes directly to a veteran in need.
I'm going to link that in the show notes. All right, Shaun. Thanks so much, man.
No problem, man.
Appreciate it, and thank you for your service for the country. Much appreciated.